Hello, hello from Costa Rica. I don't know, can you see that? Yes, now you can see that behind. Sitting here on the hammock outside my little cabina, my open air cabina here at the Las Nubes Resort in Costa Rica at a retreat that I am attending here. And just had a little bit of an aha myself as I was, well, I've had it brewing and then was leaving a message actually for my coach who is not here at the retreat, just about some of the stuff that I was experiencing, and wanted to come in and share because, well, it was a big breakthrough for me. And I think, it's a huge part of what I also do for other people that I've struggled with myself over the years. And I had a bit of an aha over the last couple days about some of the ways that I was still making my life, my business, my work, making money harder than it needed to be. And it's such an interesting thing because I see so many coaches, healers, really brilliant people questioning themselves, their gifts, not really owning the true power of what it is that they do. And for years, a big part, like one of the biggest parts of what I do for people that, my clients that I work with, both, remotely in the coaching capacity as well as in my retreats, is to be able to see them, to see their genius, to see all it is that they're here to do, to see their gifts, to see the opportunities and the things that are available to them out in the field that they haven't claimed for themselves, where they're not owning their own power, their own zone of genius, the work that it is that they're truly here to do, and the things that will change their lives and probably the lives of many others. And what's been frustrating for me over the years was that while I really helped other people to do this, I still felt like I hadn't fully tapped into it myself. I knew that I changed lives. I knew that I helped people with their businesses, their marketing, their sales. I knew that I helped people with their relationships. And, I've been circling this whole, zone of genius thing for years with other people, and have had so many times people reflect back to me my own, but I had really not seen it always so clearly in terms of the impact that it can have on people's lives. And the reason I'm recording this is because I think that, it's just evidence that, sometimes no matter how far along you are in your business, your growth, your journey, your relationships, that there's always something more to learn. There's always layers to be peeled back. There's always shifts that can be made. And I've had a lot of success, to be honest, in my life, in, my career, my relationship. But technically, I know it's success in relationship, but I've been with my husband for over 25 years, married for 18 of those. And with my business, and I've, made a lot of money, and I almost lost everything, if I'm being honest, over the last, well, not over the last few years, but a few years ago. And I knew that part of it was this, right? That I was not really owning a big part of myself. And I knew there was more that I needed to say, that I needed to share. And it would frustrate me because I would help other people to, these like great heights of success and really living their dream. And I had, glimpses myself where just life, business, everything felt so easy, money felt so easy, but then I would oftentimes revert back into, okay, I need to do more, work harder, I need to try harder, I need to figure out, what worked, why was that so easy, and all the while, trying to still figure it out and find the how of, what it is that I really do for these people, and not always seeing the things that were reflected back to me. And the reason I'm telling this story is because yesterday I ran a session at this retreat, and ran a session. We were literally in the pool, and I had prepared for a few hours leading up to the session, not like all yesterday, but in the days leading up, I had spent like hours preparing it. I really wanted it to be good. It's a facilitator's retreat, so we're sharing each of us a little bit of what we do with one another, and I wanted it to be great, and I was so excited to share these things with people. And a big part of what I do is human design. It's not human design, but I utilize tools like human design, astrology, etc., gene keys. But I knew that that's not like what I was here to do, and I spent hours like looking at charts and preparing things, to send them their blueprints. And when it came time to actually do the session, I just had this nudge like, you don't need to give them their charts. Well, actually, before the session, I got this nudge, and I'm like, so I stopped. I put my computer away. I'm like, I'm just gonna go based on what I know already. But then, as we were kind of getting ready for my session, I was just thinking, it'd be really nice to just do it in the pool, and I don't need my computer then, and I don't need my notes. And I was feeling this, and then someone else said something about, oh, it'd be nice if we get in the pool maybe after the session. I'm like, actually, I was thinking we do it in the pool, and of course everybody loved that idea. And so we got in our suits, got in the pool, and it was hour and a half session. We were just hanging out in/around the pool, and many of these people were just like, oh my god, and like getting these huge ahas and awarenesses, and just like eating it all up. And they were literally saying some of these words, and all the while I'm just thinking, this is so easy. This is so easy. And I had this flashback to a conversation a few years ago with my mentor at the time. And it was the first time, or like it was the largest month I had ever had. I made just a little over $50,000 cash in a month. And I had landed my biggest, I don't like saying it like that, but I had had a new client sign up, and it was the biggest package I had ever sold in terms of dollar amount, but it was also the easiest. And I remember her saying, how does it feel? And when I like messaged her to let her know how much I just made, I'm like, it was so fucking easy. It was so easy. And part of me felt, I think, undeserving of that. And it sent me on a bit of a journey. And I've had, several large months since then, but it hadn't been consistent. And I, struggled to figure out, what was it that was so easy? What was it that I said or I did that allowed me to reach that goal? And the funny thing is I didn't do anything. I was just me. And the funny thing being is, because I teach other people to do this, and I would get in my old head trying to figure it out, thinking I had to do things in a certain way, thinking I had to show up in certain places, thinking I had to, but in reality, the only thing that I wasn't always fully doing was being fully me, because I was trying to fit into this picture of what I thought people really wanted from me or needed from me in order for me to have that balance between success and joy and money and being happy across the board. And and this was more business related, and I'll keep it focused on that, but PS, this is also related to relationship stuff, but I just couldn't figure it out. And so, coming full circle, yesterday for myself, I realized but I remembered the connection between all of this. As I was going through this session, I'm like, it was so fucking easy. It was so easy. And, I'm saying this because I want to remind you that it can be that easy. And I help so many women that, are, and I say women, it's not actually just women, because I do help men very much, and one of the people here is a man, and I've helped other men to do the same, but is to reflect back, just like your genius, and that it can be this easy. But sometimes we forget that it can be easy just to be ourselves. And when you're being yourself, that is when, you don't have to change anything necessarily about who you are, what you're doing, how you're showing up, how you're marketing yourself, how you're selling yourself. Because when you are innately yourself, when you are showing up that way in your conversations, in your business, in your content, it does make you magnetic to the right people, the right opportunities. And it's easy. And I think, so many of us, myself included, You're taught that you need to work harder, that you need to achieve more, and that is the path to success. And you can. I have built success that way. I have made a lot of money that way. But it didn't feel good. It didn't feel easy. And I knew that that wasn't the way I wanted my life, my business to be. And I would really encourage you to ask yourself that in career, business, etc. It's just like, where are you fucking not owning that it can be that easy? Where are you showing up in your life and making it more difficult for yourself? And of course, if you can't see that, because oftentimes we can't see that. I need to go here because my phone is about to die. But where are you not owning that? Because own it. Own that shit. Or message me and I'll help you to see where it is that you aren't owning that, and to help you really step into that full power conviction, to be so convicted in your beliefs, your work, your genius, to allow yourself to make money, to have success that's sustainable, because that is where we're going. That's how the world is meant to be. Business, life, money, it's meant to be fucking easy. But it happens when you allow you to be the show. When you allow you to be the thing that people want. So, anywho, thank you for coming to my little TED Talk today. And I will be back soon in another video. And I'm going to go enjoy Costa Rica. And P.S., if you're interested in joining me here, I will be running a retreat here at the Las Nubes Resort in 2027. And there's only going to be a very few spots available because it is a small little boutique property, the most amazing place you can be. And I think I already showed you the view. There's another great view on the other side. So best view in Costa Rica, the most healing place, the best people, the best experience, and oh my God, the best fucking food. So if you are looking to step into something big, message me, and I do have some packages too that will lead up to that, or you can just come to the retreat. So get on the wait list. Talk to you soon.